Have you ever just stopped and thought about what's actually happening when you type something into Google? It seriously feels like magic, doesn't it? You ask some random question and bam, the entire internet seems to answer in an instant. Well, today, we're going to pull back that curtain and see how Google search really works.
I mean, think about it. In less time than it takes to blink, Google sifts through billions of web pages and gives you back this insane number of results, often way over 1 million. It's this incredible feat of engineering that, we all just take for granted every single day.
So, that leads us to the big question, right? In that massive, endless ocean of data, how on earth does it find that one perfect link, that one answer you were looking for? Well, it's not magic, but it is a pretty wild 3-step process. To get our heads around this, just try to imagine organizing a library. But this isn't just any library. It has trillions of books, new ones are showing up every single second, and the old ones are constantly being rewritten. That is the insane challenge Google is up against with the internet. It's a truly impossible library. So how do they do it? Well, they tackle this chaos with a really clear 3-stage attack plan. First, they have to find all the information that's even out there. That's called crawling. Then, they need to organize it all and store it. That's indexing. And finally, the most important part, they have to decide which piece of information is the absolute best answer for you. And that's ranking. Let's break them down.
All right, so the whole journey kicks off with discovery. Before Google can even think about answering your question, it has to know what information actually exists out on the web. This first critical step is called crawling.
And to do this, Google unleashes an army of automated programs called Googlebots. You might also hear them called crawlers or spiders, which is a great name for them, actually. Just think of them as these tireless digital explorers endlessly zipping around the web, mapping out every single corner. The process itself is surprisingly simple when you think about it. A Googlebot starts with a list of web pages it already knows about. It visits them, and then it follows every single link it finds on those pages to discover new ones. It's just this simple cycle of explore, find, repeat that just never, ever stops. So, once a page is discovered by a crawler, that's just step 1. It's not enough to just know that a page exists. Google has to figure out what the heck the page is about and then file it away. This brings us to step 2, indexing. The Google Index is that impossible library we were talking about, but it's been made perfectly, unbelievably organized. Every single page that gets discovered is analyzed for its text, its keywords, images, videos, you name it, before it earns a spot on a shelf in this massive digital collection. But here's the catch, and this is super important. Not every page gets into the library. Nope. Google is actually pretty picky. It's looking for high-quality, original stuff that gives you real value. It'll straight up ignore pages that are just copies of other pages, pages that have really thin, low-quality content, or pages that have a little technical tag that basically says, "Hey Google, stay out." Okay, so the web has been crawled, the best pages have been put into the library. Now we get to the main event, the final, most critical stage, ranking. The moment you hit search, all the relevant pages in that giant library basically have an audition to become your #1 answer. The very first thing Google is looking for is simple: relevance. How well does the stuff on this page actually match the words you just typed? It's the first hurdle every page has to clear. If it's not relevant, it's out. But hey, it's not just about matching keywords. The quality of the content is a huge deal. Is this information well-researched? Is it thorough? Is it original? Google's whole goal is to send you to pages that are genuinely helpful, not just ones that stuffed the right words in. Next up, backlinks. The easiest way to think about a backlink, which is just a link from one website to another, is as a vote of confidence. The more high-quality websites that vote for a page by linking to it, the more trustworthy Google thinks it is. But, and this is key, not all votes are created equal. A link from a major news site or a top university, that's a massive vote of confidence. A link from some random blog no one's ever heard of? Yeah, that barely moves the needle. It's all about quality, not just how many you have.
And finally, Google really cares about what your experience is like when you actually land on the page. Does it load up fast? Is it a nightmare to use on your phone? Can you even find what you're looking for? All of these things tell Google if you're going to have a good time or a frustrating one. And believe me, that has a huge impact on its rank.
So here's where it all gets really smart. Ranking isn't just about what's on the page, it's about you. Google works incredibly hard to figure out your search intent, basically the why behind your search. Are you trying to learn something like we are today? Are you just trying to get to a specific website, like typing Facebook login? Or are you maybe looking to buy something? Understanding why you're searching completely changes the kinds of results Google shows you.
And this is where the really heavy-duty AI comes into play. Google uses these incredibly complex systems like BERT and RankBrain just to understand the subtleties of how we talk. It's how it knows that a search for how to change a tire needs a step-by-step guide, while best tire prices needs a list of stores. It's all about context.
Okay, let's bring all of this home and talk about you. Because after all these ridiculously complex steps, the final results that you see on your screen are tailored specifically for you. This is the personalization layer.
You ever wonder why you and a friend can be standing side by side, search for the exact same thing, and get totally different results? This is why. Google uses signals like where you are in the world, what you searched for recently, and whether you're on a phone or a laptop to fine-tune everything. These personal clues are like the final filter, pushing what's most useful to you right to the very top.
And the whole thing is still changing. I mean, the search results page itself is totally transformed. It's not just a list of 10 blue links anymore, right? Now it's all about getting you answers directly, with those featured snippet boxes at the top of the page, or that people also ask section that literally guesses your next question. Google's goal is to close that gap between your question and your answer.
So from crawling the entire web to indexing it to understanding exactly what you want, that's the incredible journey that happens behind a single simple search. And it leaves us with this one last fascinating question to chew on. With AI now generating answers on the fly and voice search becoming totally normal, what's this all going to look like in 5 or even 10 years? The Impossible Library is still under construction, and its next chapter is being written as we speak.